Hello, I'm Mr. McLaughlin, one of the Dean of Students here at Homewood-Flossmoor High School, and we're going to go over our expectations for you here at Homewood-Flossmoor High School. Myself, Mr. Geijer, Mr. Fantin, and Mrs. Rudan will be going over you with the student handbook, and hopefully by the end of today you'll understand what our expectations for you here at Homewood-Flossmoor High School. First, we're going to start with attendance. Students are allowed 10 absences per semester. After 7, however, the students will be referred to the dean's office and a parent guardian will be notified and you will receive an attendance contract. If you go above 10 absences, you may be dropped from the class and or placed on social suspension. You must clear every absence to be excused within 48 hours. Then they will turn into a cut and you'll be called down to the dean's office. To clear an absence, either you have to have a parent or a guardian call the attendance office the morning or bring a note before your class of the day begins. With cuts, 2 cuts to any class will force you to be dropped from a class without credit and placed in study hall for the remainder of the semester. Tardies, those are more than 5 minutes to class, will be considered a cut as well and will result in an immediate referral to make-up work. Make-up work is not permitted for students who cut a class, including tests. Excused absences are allowed 48 hours to make up missing work. You must contact teachers as soon as possible to schedule missing tests, quizzes, or projects. You have to sign in and out as well from Homewood-Flossmoor High School if you're leaving early or arriving late to school. You're required to sign in at the dean's office and sign out. If you are leaving early, you must sign out at the attendance office, either in the north building or the south building. Failure to do so will result in a detention and a cut to that particular class. You must sign in and out even if you are leaving or arriving during a passing period. Our tardy policy as well is if you are not in class by the time the bell rings, you are tardy. If you're more than 5 minutes late, you'll be marked absent and assigned a cut for that class period. Our tardy policy is as follows. Your first tardy is going to be a verbal warning from your teacher. The second tardy, the teacher will send a referral down to the dean's office, and then we will send a letter home to your parents or guardian to let them know that you have a second tardy to that particular class. Your third tardy, you'll be given a 5-hour Saturday detention and a parent notification as well. On your fourth tardy, the teacher will give you a referral again and you'll be sent down to the dean's office and you'll be given another 5-hour Saturday detention and a parent conference as well. On the fifth tardy, you will be dropped from that class with no credit and placed in study hall for the remainder of the semester. If you are assigned a Saturday detention or a dean's detention as a result for a tardy policy or a cut, and you do not complete that detention, you will be dropped from the class for the duration of that semester.
Hello HF, I'm Mrs. Rudan and I'm one of the deans here at HF. Today I want to talk about in-school detentions and bullying. Students will only be assigned to ISD for a limited number of occurrences. Remember students, we want to limit the time you spend out of class. If you are assigned to in-school detention on 4 different occurrences throughout the school year, then you will be placed on social suspension. This will be different next year from this year. At any point during the school year, if you reach your 4th occurrence in ISD, you will be put on social suspension for the remaining of the school year. Social suspensions will not reset at the semester. After a 4th occurrence in ISD, a student will start getting suspended out of school for any misbehavior that otherwise will warrant a day of ISD. So let's talk a little about social suspension so that everyone is clear about what it entails. Students who are placed on social suspension are not allowed to attend any school functions outside of the normal school day. This includes school dances, sporting events, and any other event outside of the school day sponsored by a club or activity. This includes the lip sync contest or battle of the bands. Students can be placed on social suspension for various infractions, but the most common infractions are a 4th occurrence in ISD, excessive absences to school or any given class, excessive demerits, theft, and any suspendable infraction that occurs at a school-sponsored event. So if you want to enjoy your high school experience and all that HF has to offer, please comply with the rules of the school and help make HF a pleasant educational environment. HF is also a no bully zone. Again, we strive to make the educational environment at HF one where all students can learn free of fear and unhealthy distractions. Bullying is defined as unwanted, aggressive behavior that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. The behavior is repeated or has the potential to be repeated over time. Bullying includes actions such as making threats, spreading rumors to intentionally harm another's reputation, attacking someone physically or verbally, and purposefully excluding someone from a group. We ask that our students be more than a bystander when it comes to bullying. Take an active role against bullying. There are several ways that you can actively take a stance against bullies. First, you can befriend a person who is being bullied. If you witness an act of bullying, at the very least, you can report it to a trusted adult. You can help a person who is being bullied by removing themselves from the situation. Everyone can set a good example and not be bullies themselves. Lastly, do not give bullies an audience. Do not just stand around and watch someone being bullied. If you witness an act of bullying or are the victim of bullying, please report the incident to a trusted adult. Bullied victims do not have to deal with the situation on their own.
Hello there, HF. I apologize for the glare off the top of the head, but nothing I can do about it with no hair. I'm Mr. Geijer, one of the deans here at HF. Today I will be talking about aggressive behavior and their consequences. You just heard Ms. Rudan talk about bullying as well. If you are caught bullying, it will result in a suspension and most likely a recommendation for expulsion. This includes cyberbullying. Mob action and battery will render a suspension and most likely a recommendation for expulsion. A repeated act of gross insubordination or gross misconduct, including but not limited to fighting, verbal altercations, physical altercations, battery, mob action during a student's enrollment here at HF may result in an expulsion from the school.
Hello, this is Mr. Klawitter, Dean of Students. I am here to write you up. There are miscellaneous things you need to know about as students. All students are expected to be at their respective school activity by 3:15. Any student that is not on campus after 3:15 will be directed to the pool lobby. There is no loitering. If you have a parking permit and have been asked more than once to leave school property after 3:15, then your parking permit will be revoked without a refund. Students have to eat lunch in the building where the 5th period is taking place, 6th period on Thursdays. Students will not be able to travel the path during 5th hour, 6th hour on Thursdays. The dress code, which is near and dear to me. You will be dressed appropriately or I will write you up. The dress code is as follows. Dress code straps. Any visible strap must be 2 inches in width. No strapless, spaghetti strap, halter top, single strap, off-the-shoulder strap, or backless tops are allowed. Each student must cover at least 2 inches of material on the shoulders. No shoulder blades may be exposed, meaning there are no racer back tank tops. If we're talking about the dress code with the tops, no low-cut tops are allowed. No cleavage should be showing, and the lowest part of your shirt must lie flat against your skin. Tops must overlap the waistband of your pants and shorts, much like mine. If your top is see-through or mesh, you must have an appropriate shirt underneath it. Male students who wear sleeveless tanks or jerseys must wear a shirt with sleeves underneath the garment. Alcohol, drugs, weapons, gambling, and any other inappropriate or offensive language may not be displayed on any piece of clothing. With the bottoms, no sleepwear is acceptable at school as school clothes, including flannel or pajama pants. Waistbands of your bottoms must not be worn no lower than the mid portion of the hip. Gentlemen, no sagging. Dresses, skirts, shorts, and slits must be no higher than 4 inches from the knee. See your parent-student handbook for a handy-dandy measuring tool. When leggings, tights, or stretch pants are worn, an appropriate garment needs to be worn over them. Pants with holes located in areas in which we would deem as regard as inappropriate or indecent are not allowed. As far as headwear and accessories, all headwear, hats, rags, scarves, hoods, etc. must be removed before entering the building. Headwear must also be removed during the outside classrooms. Long wallet chains and spiked jewelry are not allowed. Headwear worn inside the building will be confiscated and sent to the dean's office where a parent needs to pick it up. If you are caught with a dress code violation, the student will be referred to the dean's office. The student will be allowed to change into their own clothes if available. If their own clothes are not available, issued a PE uniform will be able to be changed into. The student will not be permitted to return to class until the problem has been remedied. A second dress code violation will result in a detention. Now, please obey the dress code or I will write you up. This is Mr. Klawitter. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Mr. Klawitter. Consequences for misuse of any electronic device and accessories are as follows. Your first and second offense will be a 5-hour Saturday detention. Your third offense will be a 1-day in-school detention, and your fourth offense will be a day of out-of-school suspension. So make sure that you take your headphones off and you're putting your electronic devices before you come into the building, and they can't be out during the passing periods or class time. For security risks, electronic devices are especially vulnerable to loss and theft. HF is not responsible for any personal property brought onto campus by students. Theft, weapons, and controlled substances with students who are in possession of stolen property will be suspended from school and possibly recommended for expulsion. If you bring a weapon, a look-alike weapon, or anything that may be used as a weapon to school, you'll be suspended and recommended for expulsion. If you are in possession or caught under the influence of any illegal substance or alcohol while on school grounds, you will be suspended and possibly recommended for expulsion. We do have conflicts sometimes as well. We expect those conflicts to be dealt with in a mature and composed manner. Those keys are, if a conflict arises with another student, we ask that you see a staff member or come into the dean's office. Don't let these things happen outside in the hallway or the classroom, and don't let your suspension or expulsion be an entertainment for people who are affected by it.
Hello HF, I'm Mr. Fantin, one of the deans here at HF. Today I will be talking to you about altercations. If you are involved in a fight, you will be suspended from school for up to 10 days and possibly recommended for expulsion. If you are involved in a physical altercation or verbal altercation, you will be suspended from school as well. A physical altercation is pushing, shoving, and/or wrestling, and a verbal altercation is when two or more students are yelling and screaming at each other, which causes a disruption to the learning environment. If you are involved in a second altercation, which includes fighting, physical altercations, and verbal altercations, anytime throughout your high school career at HF, you may be recommended for expulsion. Please be advised that if these types of incidents happen off campus at a school-related event, or if they have a direct impact on the educational environment in any way, shape, or form, the school can and will discipline the students involved. Options for conflict management. If you are having issues with another student, please let an adult know so that the school can intervene. We have several options available for conflict management, including peer mediation and dean mediation. Also, be aware that just because you let someone know, it's not a green light to get into an altercation. We want to prevent altercations as much as possible. Thanks.
We thank you for your attention, and hopefully the things that the deans have presented to you today makes it easier for you and you understand our expectations for you. Should at any point in time that you need anything, please seek out a dean or a staff member at any point in time. Our doors are always open to you, either in the north building or the south building. Thank you, and make it a great year to be a Viking.